Hi, so let's start with our introduction to biology, the biological psychology, with the basic building block of our nervous system. That is a neuron. That is the basic cell of our nervous system is a neuron. You can't get any smaller than that. And that's how we have around 86 billion neurons in our brains. And that's only in our brains. Wear and tear भी होता रहता है. But approximately, these are the neurons which are responsible for our daily functions, for even the minute tasks to even the bigger tasks. Why are we studying biology and psychology? Because biology and psychology are intertwined. You can't have any psychology without the brain. You need to study a little bit, you need to have a little bit knowledge of biology, especially neurology, like that is your brain, in order to understand how your mind works, and that will that will gain you an understanding and insight in how psychology works. So these are best buddies, biology and psychology. Okay, now let's come to the basic structure of a neuron. So this is a typical neuron that you would normally find in a brain in our and let's go over its structures one by one. So if we start with the body, that is also called the soma. Soma in Latin, that's a Latin word, and that means body. So this is the body of the neuron. That is what we call it, where जहाँ उसका nucleus होता है. This is the nucleus. And these tree-like structures which you see are called dendrites. Dendrites are a way of communicating with other neurons. Just like they will connect with each other, and that's how they connect. This is the nucleus. And I have to start my, okay, so sorry. So these were the dendrites. This is the body, that is the soma. And this long thing is called the axon. यहाँ पे action potentials या signals जो भी होते हैं वो transmit होते हैं. So this is called the axon, the inside, and it is covered by Schwann cells. Schwann cells, what they do, they produce a covering over the neuron's axon that is called a myelin sheath. Now this is a very important structure, and if somehow some people are unfortunate not to have it, then it can lead to a terminal autoimmune disease which is called multiple sclerosis. So this is very important. And why is it important? Why is this covering, which is created by Schwann cells, so important for the neuron? Because it gives neurons stability, number one. And second, it helps in the transmission of signals from one cell to another. It jumps the signal and then it can travels all over the neuron. Now, these are the nerve endings which correspond with the dendrites of other neurons. So this is how neurons communicate with each other, with these nerve endings and these dendrites. We will see it in the next future slides. And this is a basic normal neuron that you would find in a brain. So how do neurons transmit signals? We are saying that neurons are there, neurons are transmitting signals, but how do they actually manage it? Well, as you can see over here, there is a lot of neurons and they're all interconnected from the dendrites and the synapses. Let's discuss that. So for that purpose, we come to synaptic cleft. Now, what is synaptic cleft? Now, this is a normal neuron and this is another normal neuron. So they're connected. As you can see, the dendrites of this neuron and the nerve endings of this neuron are interconnected. So whatever the signal that will travel over here, jumping from one Schwann cell to another, will go from here and will be transferred to this neuron. This is called a presynaptic neuron, and this is called a postsynaptic neuron. Why are we calling this? Because very easy. Over here, this nerve ending is coming in and meeting this dendrite of this neuron. So ये प्री-सिनेप्टिक हो गया और ये पोस्ट-सिनेप्टिक, क्योंकि ये इस एरिया को हम साइनेप्स कहते हैं. तो जो उससे पहले होगा उसको प्री कहेंगे और जो भी चीज बाद में आती है मेडिकल में वो पोस्ट कहलाती है. तो पोस्ट-सिनेप्टिक न्यूरॉन. Now what will happen if we see this enlarged? Let's see it enlarged. There we see, this is the प्री-साइनेप्टिक न्यूरॉन, ये वाला न्यूरॉन की एंडिंग हो रही है यहाँ पे नर्व एंडिंग, और ये वाला न्यूरॉन की ये एंडिंग हो रही है. So this is this postsynaptic neuron. And as you can see, there are little bundles or bags which are called vesicles. Vesicles का मतलब होता है bags basically which carry substances like neurotransmitters or different hormones. तो वो यहाँ से release हो रहे हैं. और this area is called synapse. Synapse means junction आ गया है. मगर as you can see, there is a little gap between the both the neurons, the presynaptic neuron and the postsynaptic. ये जरूरी होता है gap. This is very vital. Why is it vital? Because it allows the passage of different kind of substances. अगर ये passage ना हो, and if they're just like this joined together, there will be no proper transfer of neurotransmitters. So they need this gap, this neurotransmitters and different other substances that are transmitted, they need this gap in order to transfer to the postsynaptic neuron, and sometimes they also come back to their own presynaptic neuron. So these are how signals are transmitted from one neuron to another neuron, and this goes on and on. सही है? How many types? We have so many types of neuron, but basically these are the simple types which you really need to know. Sensory, interneurons, and motor neurons. Motor neurons, as the word suggests, are implicated or involved in all the movements of my hands except यहाँ पे motor neurons है. But for example, if I pick up this hot cup of tea and if I touch it, तो यहाँ पे मेरे sensory neurons activate हो रहे हैं. They are transmitting this message. When I put my hand like this, they are transmitting, they have the nerve endings are here, and through my hand, they are traveling all through my, उनका axon पूरा जा रहा है ऊपर तक. They're traveling to my brain and giving my brain the indication, the signal that this is hot. So ये sensory काम कर रहे हैं. जहाँ भी touch या sight या हियरिंग की बात आ जाती है, सेंसरी आपके, जहां सेंसेस आपके काम आ रही हैं. और मोटर न्यूरॉन्स का क्या काम होगा कि जब मुझे मैसेज मिल गया कि दिस इज हॉट, motor neurons will, my one part of my brain, the motor cortex area, will tell my hand to move away from the cup. तो ये हाथ जो पीछे करने का जो वो है, ये motor neurons के जिम्मे होता है. So this is the beauty of our human body, that one neuron is for the senses and one neuron is for the muscles that can move our hands or feet or anything. What are interneurons? Interneurons are usually are present in eyes, the brain, the spinal cord, and they are just connecting neurons. They connect neurons to other neurons, and that is their only purpose. All right. What is a nerve? हमने न्यूरॉन को डिस्कस कर दिया, that was a basic unit और हर जगह present होते हैं, especially brain और spinal cord में. But what is a nerve actually? So nerve is just a collection of axons of many neurons. Remember, the axon was the thick part, the long part between the head, the nucleus, the head, and the nerve endings. So that's called an collection of axon is nerve. So what is nerve actually? It's a bundle of axons. वो carry कर रही है information, so वहाँ information transmit होता है nerve में. Over here is a diagram. Okay, we have this basic neuron over in the brain, and the messages are being carried to the hand. So how do we carry the messages? We have nerves that are controlling our movements and sensory input as well. So this is an overview of our nervous system. Now, this is called the central nervous system. It's divided. The nervous system is divided into two parts, the brain and the spinal cord. The color pink यहाँ पे indicate कर रहा है, इसको कहते हैं हम central nervous system, क्योंकि ये दिमाग में होता है, central nervous system. Basically, it is the brain. And then we see this collection of nerves all over the body, everywhere from feet to the hands to the abdomen and chest area, and that is called the peripheral nervous system. Periphery पे है, boundary पे है, दूर है, तो ये peripheral nervous system है. और जो चीज आपके ब्रेन में है उसको कहते हैं सेंट्रल है, क्योंकि वो आपके ब्रेन में लोकेटेड है। तो इट्स वेरी इजी टू रिमेम्बर कि जो ब्रेन और स्पाइनल कॉर्ड है उसको कहते हैं सेंट्रल नर्वस सिस्टम, एंड जो पेरिफेरी पे है, दूर है, इट्स कॉल्ड पेरिफेरल नर्वस सिस्टम. These are the definitions which your book had, so that's why I put them here. I don't know for what purpose it is in psychology, but it's good if you know that a collection of neuron cell bodies in the peripheral nervous system is called ganglion. बहुत सारे न्यूरॉन सेल बॉडीज की कलेक्शन हो जाती है, big bundles are called ganglions, or वही collection of cell bodies, if they're present in the brain or in the CNS, that is the central nervous system, spinal cord, they're called nucleus. Not the small cell nucleus, but they're really big nuclei, like big structures. So I think for the purpose of psychology only, you should know the definition. No need to go into details. Okay, what are glial cells? So we have a lot of neurons present, but neuron is not the only substance that is present in the mind. We have a lot of glial cells. Now, what are glial cells? Well, have you ever had custard, trifle, जो बहुत मजे की चीजें होती हैं, जिसके अंदर फ्रूट भी डला हुआ होता है, जेली भी होती है. तो कभी आपने देखा होगा सब जम जाता है. Everything is suspended in the custard or the jelly. It's like everything, all the matter, whatever आप डालते हैं वो सस्पेंड हो जाता है उसके अंदर. इसी तरह आपकी ब्रेन है. सपोज वो समझें कि वो एक जेली है और उसके अंदर कटे हुए फ्रूट के टुकड़े हैं. तो जेली उसको जगह पे रखी हुई होती है, क्योंकि अगर वो जेली नहीं होगी तो वो नीचे गिर जाएंगे फ्रूट के टुकड़े. तो वो सस्पेंडेड होते हैं, ऊपर एक लेयर होती है, नीचे एक लेयर. इसी तरह से न्यूरॉन्स भी इसी तरह आपके ब्रेन में जगह पे रखे जाते हैं बाय द हेल्प ऑफ ग्लायल सेल्स. सो ग्लायल सेल्स एक्ट्स एज अ फॉर्म ऑफ सब्सटेंस. देयर आर डिफरेंट टाइप ऑफ ग्लायल सेल्स. तो दे एक्ट एज सपोर्टिंग एंकर्स टू द न्यूरॉन. Glia का मतलब है glue. So literally it's the glue that is holding the neurons together. 9:1 ratio है. It means if there is one neuron, there are 9 glial cells. So 9 type of glial cells to one neuron. Holding the neuron in place. And myelin sheath भी produce करते हैं. हमने अभी mention किया था Schwann cells का. Over here you can see the Schwann cells again. Over here oligodendrocytes भी होते हैं, that is type of Schwann cell. So you can see they're covering the axon. तो ये myelin sheath produce करते हैं. When they stop working, then a lot of pathology happens in the body. So we have astrocytes, we have microglia. So these are basically also called cleaners. ये सफाई भी करते हैं. कभी डेड न्यूरॉन्स होते हैं, कभी कोई और डेब्री होती है ब्रेन के अंदर, तो वहां भी तो हमें सफाई की जरूरत पड़ती है everywhere, like everywhere else. So these are also called the cleaner cells of our brain, but they have different functions. Like they anchor the neurons in place, they produce the myelin sheath, they have various other, but they do not take part in transmitting signals, जो कि सिर्फ न्यूरॉन का काम होता है. That's only for neuron. So this was your part 1 for the introduction of biological psychology. Let's take a break and then we'll meet soon in the action potential video.